Let's get a little bit into like parenthood.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, in a chair, like things, there's got to be certain challenges that
Definitely,
you've had to
yeah.
overcome. And
Yeah, yeah, because I parented through being really like involved and active and like taking my kids hiking and like showing.
how old were the kids when you were injured?
So my youngest was about to start kindergarten, and my oldest was like fourth grade. So we had 4 kids in 4 years.
Yeah.
So they were in that range between like 5 and 10 when I had my accident. And so at that point, a lot of like energies were like already established. Like, this is dad and this is what dad does take, or this is what dad will not take,
Yeah.
But then you have your accident and you're different, and especially the first year, right? Like you're weak and like vulnerable, and like you kind of are a victim to the situation, like, and and you have to overcome that.
Yeah.
And so,
And then the kids are also trying to figure out, like they're looking at their, number one role model.
yeah,
And now he's, in this situation where he's not able to walk and he's not able to be dad.
yeah.
But, you always got to find a way.
So like in the beginning, it started with like, I think is what really helped my kids a lot was seeing how hard I tried, like, like it might be that I learned to put on my t-shirt by myself for the first time, and like,
Yeah.
they would be so proud of their dad that like, my dad's a quadriplegic and he put on his own shirt, like,
Yeah.
and like, and being part of rugby, like, I think that was a huge thing that helped my kids, is that I was doing something kind of
they saw you like
pushing and
able to like compete and able to
so yeah, I think just doing things, and maybe it's not rugby for somebody, but it's like they have to see you trying to do something too,
Yeah. No, I totally get that. It's
and there become that respect. So, but they challenged it, like, my oldest daughter just brought this up last night. We were all having family dinner, and they started talking about old times, and my oldest had watched my youngest getting into a parenting situation with me, and she decided she was just going to run upstairs, get away from dad because he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And my daughter was saying, oh shit, this isn't gonna go well for her. And so like there was like this energy between my wife and I, that if the kids ever did something like run away from me, or like just walk away from me where I couldn't go or something, like my wife would like pounce in like a panther, like, this is not gonna go down. So like, I think 2 or 3 of them had to like be, somewhat attacked like with that behavior, and then they were scared to do that. From that point, there was like this respect and like healthy fear that like, I'm not gonna take advantage of dad's physical.
One thing that I've noticed from mostly around the rugby guys is because like Ed's got 2 boys and Max has a whole litter of kids, and then you. Is I watched the different parenting techniques, and like I noticed that you guys all have a really good way of like expressing yourselves vocally, and like you rely, like when you have to like discipline a kid, it's not gonna be like in a physical sense, but it's like you're gonna sit and talk to the kid like eye to eye, and like father to son. And like explain to them the situation, and I feel like quadriplegic parents, or even SCI parents, like the successful ones at least, are the ones that are kind of like the more patient, more understanding, and they're able to get their point across more vocally.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. There's definitely a component in that for sure, that like you have to develop that other able-bodied parents may not have to develop to the same degree.
Do the kids ever get like shit from their classmates about like, you know, like
Their dad being in a chair?
Their dad being in a chair?
No, they never did. No, I think a lot of them just kind of thought it was cool.
Yeah, like a little something different.
Yeah, you know, there's an extra wheelchair around that they get to do wheelies on, or yeah, I've heard of kids like having that problem, like within like the spinal cord injury groups or whatever. But no, my kids that I know of haven't really had to deal with that.
Yeah.
However, I have like my kids are like good looking and athletic, and
do you ever feel like they're embarrassed about it, or I don't
know. I've never gotten
that
kids.
vibe.
No, I think they'll feel. I think sometimes they feel gypped in a sense that like they know their dad would have been the dad that, you know, would have took them out kite windsurfing if they desired or something, you know, and like taught them to snow ski and like been out on it with them, you know.
Yeah.
And I think they feel like, gyp's the wrong word, but like just sad that their dad didn't get that experience with them, and they didn't get that experience with their dad of you know, running down the beach and throwing a football back and forth for a mile, or you know,
right.
Like
but I'm sure there's other ways that like you can make up for that, and you still are able to pass down a world of knowledge that you have.
So, that's one of the gifts. Because I was setting up life where we were going to do great financially, and then all of a sudden, you know, my accident happened, and I, you know, physically am not able to do things, and then like financially not able to do what our path was going to be, you know. So, you know, finances are tight in a sense. We've been able to, like, I've made good decisions, so we've been able to live a stable life, but not like luxurious in a sense. So
that's always like the crippling thing about you know, getting crippled. You know, and I was very fortunate where I got hurt, you know, as you know, when I was active duty. But for, you know, regular folks, I mean, I understand the struggle. Like it's not cheap being, you know, a quadriplegic. There's medical,
and it's not lucrative either. So it's expensive, and the income decreases. It's a lot of times. So like my kids, if they've like, all my kids have worked since they were 10, making their own money. They bought their own cars, pay for their own gas, their own insurance.
And that's amazing in itself, because a lot of kids aren't doing that these days. Yeah.
So my kids like have thousands of dollars like saved up before they're 16. Yeah. Like all four of them have. And I, you know, I kind of had a conservative money mindset before my accident, but like afterwards, it's like, hey, if you want it, you gotta buck up and do it. And they all have. I mean, they've screwed up too, but for the most part, like, you know.
Well, that's a great like life lesson right there. Yeah. It's like when they learn the value of $1 and earning, you know, something. I mean, like when I knew when I turned 16, I wanted to buy my own car. I didn't want my parents. I never wanted to be a financial burden on my parents, which is, you know, why I bought my own first car. And you know, when the opportunity for college came, like I was like, I'm not gonna put my parents through all this debt, and that's why I wanted to join the military and get, you know, GI Bill and pay for my own way and kind of do my own thing. Always kind of took a pride, you know, in that kind of ownership where it's like, you know, I did it my way. And
I think that's kind of hard to, like, in today's culture, to like develop that in kids. So
well, it's just when you look at the challenges that they have to face, you know, they're exposed to they're pretty much exposed to the entire world. Like, You know, I grew up in the
in their
internet.
pocket.
Yeah, the internet was still kind of like in its infancy.
Yeah.
But now it's just like they're able to get on like Instagram and get on Reddit and see what all the, you know, what the whole world has to offer them, and they kind of want everything now. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, and also like, I think you guys chose a really good spot. Like the little corner that you guys are in the U.S., you know, that southern Washington, where it's got the small town feel.
Yeah.
And it's like they're not raised in the city.
Correct.
And they're able to grow at their own pace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.